Ladies and gentlemen, there is this clip of Raila Odinga, which I want you guys to watch. That clip was recorded at the peak of the Gen Z protest following the passage of the finance bill and just before the formation of the broad-based government. That clip is making sense today because for those who follow the politics of the Republic of Kenya very closely, the other day the High Court made some very interesting ruling. The High Court ruled that number one, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance is the majority party in the National Assembly. The High Court also ruled that Moses Masika Wetangula cannot be the Speaker of the National Assembly, at the same time the party leader of Ford Kenya. I've gone through that ruling, and because I personally believe that in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, that ruling was intended to achieve certain political objectives. The first conclusion I'm coming to is that the judiciary is finally out to fight William Samoei Arap Ruto, because for a very long time, William Ruto had successfully captured the judiciary, and the judiciary is now fighting back. Number two, I'm also coming to the conclusion that Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance, Raila Odinga in particular, cannot decide to impeach William Ruto anytime he wants with the help of RIgathi Gachagua. And the third conclusion I'm coming to is that William Ruto is actually the one behind those rulings, and he wants to use those rulings to punish Moses Masika Wetangula. I want you guys to listen to Raila Odinga, because in this video, out of those three issues I've raised, I want to begin by the last one, where I strongly believe that the ruling is actually intended by William Ruto to punish Moses Masika Wetangula, because Moses Masika Wetangula has refused to merge his party. Listening to Raila Odinga.
A speaker must be somebody who's neutral. A speaker must be non-partisan. You cannot be a speaker if you remain a member or leader of the Conservative Party or Labour Party. Huwezi mpaka ujizulu cheo chako ya kichama ndio wewe unaweza kuwa neutral speaker. My friend Governor sema yeye ni deputy leader of Ford Kenya. Kiongozi wa Ford Kenya ni nani? Vile Ford Kenya ni nani? Taifa wa Kenya na speaker wa taifa wa Kenya ni nani? Hiyo nataka hiyo swali umuulize hii. If you want to get to speaker, you must resign from being a leader of Ford Kenya. Then you can be a neutral speaker. Can be able to preside over the deliberations of parliament in a neutral way. And then also allow members of parliament to debate and exhaust the debate on a particular issue. Wakati hii sheria zote ambazo zinakuja kutoka kwa ikulu zinapita. Sheria zote zinatoka kwa ikulu zinapita. Kwa hivyo Kenya wako katika hali ya hatari. Kenya hiko katika mbaya zaidi. Mtu akisema mimi I'm unstoppable, hakuna mtu anaweza kunistopisha. Ni nani? Nyayo alisema yeye alikuwa ni unstoppable, tulimstopisha. Tulimstopisha Nyayo. Kama tuliweza kumstopisha Nyayo, wewe ni nani? Wakenya watakustopisha. Kenyans will stop you. Kenyans have a right to stop you. Kenya cannot be ruled in a manner that is not prescribed in their constitution. Wakenya walipigania hii katiba mpya. Hii katiba mpya ndio kinga ya Wakenya. Mtu asikuja kudanganya wewe mimi ndugu yako, mimi ni kabila yako, ndugu wa tumbo moja, hapana. Kitu muhimu zaidi ambacho tutetea wewe ni katiba. Na wakianza kujaribu kubadilisha katiba hapa na pale, ndivyo ilifanyika pale Uhuru, na utakaenda katika ile shimo kubwa zaidi. Utataka kurudi huko tena. Kwa hivyo tunasema mtu yeyote ambaye anataka kufanya vile sisi hatutaki kama Wakenya, tutakataa.
Ladies and gentlemen, the truth of the matter is that Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance competed against Kenya Kwanza in the last election. There were those who are elected on Azimio ticket, and there are those who are elected on Kenya Kwanza ticket. At the end of the day, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance emerged with the highest number of members of parliament, senators, and I think even the governors. In the National Assembly, Azimio had clear majority. But William Ruto, in his own wisdom, decided to use Wetangula. And Wetangula made a ruling. Because William Ruto had persuaded some 5 political parties to join him. So Wetangula, after his election as the speaker, decided to declare Kenya Kwanza as the majority leader. So Azimio had
persuaded that the 14 members and their parties are part of the Kenya Kwanza coalition. This, in my view, would be fair and in accordance with the previous rulings by my predecessors on related matters. 3, that with the 14 members, the membership of the Kenya Kwanza coalition stands at 179 members, while the membership of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party stands at 157 members. This, by implication, indicates that the Kenya Kwanza coalition is the majority party, and the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party is the minority party in this house. 4, that the Kenya Kwanza coalition is entitled to appoint the leader of the majority party, while the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition party is entitled to appoint the leader of the minority party. Consequent upon the foregoing...
This is the capture of parliament by the executive. It has begun. It is for the first time a speaker in his place is removing members of parliament from one party to another party. He has decided that he is the court, he is the registrar, and he is the speaker.
It totally lacks any shred of jurisprudential value. We don't agree with it, and we think this is a wrong beginning of the 13th parliament.
But their Kenya Kwanza counterparts have told them to go slow.
It is quite clear that it was also clear in the speaker's mind and in many Kenyans as to who the majority is in the 13th parliament.
We are telling Azimio, let us respect the speaker's ruling. It cannot be challenged. Once the speaker has ruled, you cannot debate over the same, you cannot challenge the same. It is clear.
It was also lawmaking, and it was obvious they knew. Even before the ruling, they knew. But they wanted to make some drama to look like they are oppressed. But nothing like oppressed. That's the truth, and the truth shall remain to be the truth.
Then are they saying that they want to become the majority party for a period of time until that time? That now the new post-election agreement has taken place.
Azimio has now threatened to challenge the decision.
As Azimio la Umoja, we must stand together and fight dictatorship in whatever shade and in whatever color, which is already rearing its ugly head in the house.
I want to call upon our colleagues from the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance coalition party and the constituent parties in that coalition to join us in serving the people of Kenya.
So Azimio had gone to court, but finally justice prevailed, which means Azimio should be the majority. And the same court has declared that Moses Masika Wetangula cannot be party leader for Kenya, at the same time the Speaker of the National Assembly. There are several political implications to that, but I want to focus on this move by the High Court to order Masika Wetangula that he cannot be the party leader for Kenya. Because the Ford Kenya party has also reacted, because they are maintaining that Wetangula is still the party leader and that party will not merge. The truth is they also understand that someone is out to force them to dissolve their political party. So listen into this member of parliament.
Ford Kenya will not go anywhere under the sun. Ford Kenya is our heritage. Ford Kenya is our origin. Ford Kenya is the oasis of democracy in this country. And if anyone will ever imagine that Ford Kenya will fold, they will begin by folding themselves before Ford Kenya folds. So on behalf of Ford Kenya, on behalf of the people of the Republic of Kenya, and the four founders of democracy in this country, Ford Kenya is there, and the party leader is none other than Daktari Moses Masika Wetangula.
Sasa Ford Kenya hii ndio chama ambayo imekuwa the second oldest. Na haiendi popote kwa sababu ati kura ikiisha hakuna. Iko hapa tutakuwa tu. Siasa ile ya national kubwa itakuwa Western Kenya. This is going to be the theater of the politics. So lazima pia tujipange. And I'm now talking as a deputy party leader of Ford Kenya. Yes. Paka tujipange. Lakini kama Western wacha tushikane. So that we go on the negotiating table as one team. When we go as one team, we shall be respected and we shall be listened to. This is where we are going to, this is going to be the theater. And if we are united, we are going to have a bigger stake up on them.
So in this video, I want to explain to you guys why personally I strongly believe, because in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence, why I strongly believe that William Ruto is actually using this court ruling to punish Moses Masika Wetangula for refusing to dissolve or to merge Ford Kenya. But before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. Why do I strongly believe that Ruto is out to punish Masika Wetangula? Number one, I strongly believe that the main intention of that ruling is to do two things. Either force Wetangula to stop being the speaker or the party leader. He will have to choose. But for William Ruto's political interest, he's trying to force Moses Masika Wetangula to agree to merge with UDA party, because already LC party is swallowed. So the idea behind the merger is simple, if you have to ask me. William Ruto wants the numbers in the next election. Because remember, UDA had the majority members of parliament based on individual parties. The mountain gave UDA party the highest number of MPs. As things stand today, the mountain is gone from William Ruto, which means one thing, that there's no way William Ruto can have majority other than getting some from the Luhya Nation, getting some from Ford Kenya, ANC party, and maybe ODM strongholds. So he wants the numbers. Because there's something I've also told you, that William Ruto is still too young to retire. After the next election, William Ruto is going to be keen on winning the support of MPs so that he can initiate some constitutional changes which can help him either stay in power or seek other political offices like the prime minister. So they'll make the post of the prime minister very powerful. So for me, he wants those numbers, and that's why he wants these political parties to merge. If these parties were to merge, for example, it's going to be possible for him to win the entire Western Kenya. Of course, ODM will be a strong opponent there, but he believes that he can win majority of those seats. So that's number one. Number two, he also wants to stop Moses Masika Wetangula from bolting out. You see, as we speak, RIgathi Gachagua is out. Wetangula has refused to merge his party. Why? Because he has some ambitions. And through his party, he can decide and enter into some coalition arrangement. What tells you that RIgathi cannot decide to pair Wetangula and Kalonzo? Because we are talking so far we are talking of Kalonzo being paired with either George Natembeya or Wamalwa. But there is Wetangula here who has proven over years that he has the numbers. So I think Ruto has realized that Wetangula has his own party. So to stop him from bolting out, let him join UDA party. Then one of his members will be appointed the second deputy secretary general, the second deputy party leader, and that will be the end of Wetam. Number three, I also strongly believe that the intention is really to take charge of 2032 succession politics. William Ruto wants to take charge of that politics. He can only take charge of that politics if and only if all these guys are under his party. Because if they're not under his party, it's going to be very difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the first intention why I think Ruto is trying to force Weta to join UDA party. Number two, I'm also looking at it as William Ruto giving in to Raila Odinga's demands. You see, the moment RIgathi Gachagua was impeached, it became very clear that William Ruto lost serious support from the mountain. William Ruto was exposed. And since William Ruto is exposed, the value of ODM party went up. And that's why sometimes I look at the idea of bringing Uhuru Kenyatta on board was part of William Ruto's strategy to try and weaken Raila Odinga's strength in broad-based government. But I'm told Uhuru is now not keen. So which means the value of Raila Odinga has not gone up. And that's why I maintain that now it's possible for Raila to engineer the impeachment. I'm coming to that video because I split that ruling into three parts. The first part is this of Wetangula. The second part which I'm coming to is how Raila Odinga can now easily impeach William Ruto if he wants. So Raila Odinga has placed demands, and that's why that clip there, I played it. There were these stories that Raila Odinga is now demanding the position of the Speaker of the National Assembly. William Ruto has no option other than to give in. Because what value do you think Wetangula is now adding to Ruto with Raila on board? I don't think there is. And lastly, I think Ruto is also keen on a running mate for 2023 and is keen on having that running mate from another political party. And I'm looking at ODM party. Don't be surprised to see William Ruto nominating an ODM member, say Gladys Wanga, as his running mate. Because the mountain, Kindiki cannot deliver. The lawyer, maybe Mudavadi, but Mudavadi will be told, wewe, ngojea, you'll be the next, I'll endorse you for the presidency. The big-headed man, Wetangula, is now being told, we can fire you if you want. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm seeing the possibility of Ruto removing Weta to weaken him, to allow an ODM member to become his running mate in 2027. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.